Number 55.
Hairpull. This demon isn't playing around. Facebooker Dimension Breaker shares footage of a young woman just walking down a hallway, minding her own business, when this happens. The woman appears to sense something in that dark room before that something attacks her. She peeks inside, decides there's nothing, and then is pulled into the abyss. Ghosts pulling hair is pretty commonplace in paranormal tradition. Such phantom interactions are often attributed to restless spirits attempting to communicate or express their displeasure. Particularly in the West, hair pulling exhibits the ghost's ability to cross the boundary between the ethereal and the physical world. But hair pulling isn't just a feature of Western paranormal tradition. In many Asian cultures, such as in Japan, the belief in vengeful spirits, or onryo, includes accounts of these entities physically attacking the living. This is viewed as a manifestation of the spirit's anger or unresolved issues from their life, often tied to a tragic or violent death. So, is this ghost angry, vengeful, or are there unresolved issues from their living days? So many questions without answers, and still one more remains. Where did the ghost take her?
Number 54. Giant Amazonian centipede. This bug can dance. Instagrammer Venom Factory shares footage of a giant Amazonian centipede. Known as white legs, this formidable creature is one of the most fascinating arthropods in the world. The Amazonian giant centipede can reach lengths of up to 12 inches or 30 centimeters, making it one of the largest centipedes in existence. Its body is composed of 21 to 23 segments, each equipped with a pair of legs. The white legs variety is distinguished by its contrasting leg coloration. The body is typically a dark reddish-brown to black hue, while the legs are pale, giving it a unique and eerie appearance. This species is predominantly found in the tropical rainforests of South America, including regions of the Amazon basin. It is often found under logs, rocks, and within leaf litter, where it can remain hidden and hunt for prey, which it does at night as it's a nocturnal predator. The aggressive and voracious feeder preys on a wide range of animals, including insects, spiders, small mammals, birds, and even bats. It employs a powerful venom delivered through its modified front legs to immobilize and kill its prey. This venom can cause severe pain and other symptoms in humans, although it is rarely fatal. But don't worry. Encounters between humans and the Amazonian giant centipede are rare due to its nocturnal and reclusive nature. However, when they do occur, they can be alarming due to the centipede's size and aggressive defense mechanisms. Bites can be extremely painful and may require medical attention, especially for those allergic to its venom. That is, if you don't die of fear first. Number 53. Behind them. This one has many scratching their heads. YouTuber Dinazalfa shares this footage, captured in the city of Itapecuru, Mirim in Brazil. Watch closely, and don't blink.
Aqui na porta do seu Agenor, pegando aqui. Ixi, pô, foi isso aí, cara, hein? Tu não viu não, cara? Não foi nada não. Sim, estamos aqui na porta do nosso amigo Agenor. De novo, cara. Ixi.
Something flashes past behind them. It looks large and unbelievably fast. It then races back the other way.
Aqui na porta do seu Agenor, pegando aqui. Ixi, pô, foi isso aí, cara, hein? Tu não viu não, cara? Não foi nada não. Sim, estamos aqui na porta do nosso amigo Agenor. De novo, cara. Ixi.
In the description of the video, they say it's a vehicle. The OP writes, Rapaz is filming on his cell phone on the doorstep of his house when suddenly behind two people, a car passes by at high speed. But that doesn't look like a vehicle to anyone else. And it also is completely silent. Many in the comments say that sightings of a similar figure have been reported, and some commenters have even seen it themselves. YouTuber BamBamBam2000 writes, I have already seen something very similar with my own eyes, but the figure I saw was running in a zigzag pattern. Science is unable to explain it. I really only believe because I saw it too. If I hadn't seen it, I wouldn't believe it either.
Sim, estamos aqui após nosso amigo Genô. De novo, cara. Vixe.
If you watch closely, on the creature's second appearance, it looks like the shadow darts out a moment before the creature does. Watch the shadow to the right.
Estamos aqui após nosso amigo Genô. De novo, cara. Vixe.
More commenters are saying they've seen a similar video that claims the lightning-fast being is a werewolf. Although some believe that this is, without a doubt, supernatural. Others think it's nothing but a person on a bicycle, coupled with the darkness and a low-quality camera. Team Werewolf for the win. Number 52. Plane drama. Imagine glancing out your plane window, only to see this. TikToker Diana shares this nightmare seen plummeting at some 30,000 feet. And it sounds like everyone on board is in full-on panic mode. Note, this isn't the original audio, so ignore the seeming reaction to whatever the mysterious object outside is. Instead, let's laser focus in on that question. What is it? Many in the comments think it's a Dementor. Even worse, it could be Lord Voldemort himself. For those who are somehow unaware of the Harry Potter universe, a Dementor is a dark, terrifying creature, depicted as a spectral, wraith-like entity that glides through the air, shrouded in a tattered black cloak. Their presence brings an overwhelming sense of cold and dread, draining hope from their surroundings. Dementors feed on human happiness, leaving their victims with only their worst memories. But the most terrifying aspect of a Dementor is its kiss. By lowering their hood and placing their mouth against a victim's, they can suck out the person's soul, leaving them an empty shell. It certainly looks like a Dementor. But if it's not, what is it? TikToker user 15236134445507 suggests it's just another plane with its trail appearing like dark smoke due to the angle of sunlight. Could this be the case? Either way, it would probably be best to master Expecto Patronum. Number 51. Creature in the woods. An unexplained sighting in the woods is leaving this family terrorized. TikToker WV Paranormal shares this video of the unknown creature. A little girl spots it first.
Over where? Hey! What are you doing over there?
And it gets creepier. Take a closer look. It looks like a figure without a head. Some in the comments think it's a demon, others a skinwalker, and still others believe it's a rake. Apparently, this was captured in Appalachia, so it could be anything. The man gives chase, but he doesn't find it. Of all the guesses, a rake seems to be the best bet. A rake is a paranormal entity made popular through creepypasta stories. Described as a monstrous and malevolent figure, the rake is typically depicted as a humanoid creature with unsettling features that evoke a deep sense of dread. Its body is emaciated, almost skeletal, covered in pale, grayish skin that clings tightly to its bones. It moves on all fours, with long, sharp claws that give it its name. These claws are capable of inflicting severe harm, making the rake not only terrifying in appearance, but also dangerous. This creature does look like it has long, sharp claws. Rakes are also known for their eerie silence, moving without making any sound, which adds to their terrifying mystique. They are often reported to watch their victims from a distance before attacking. Could this be the rake? That's a popular opinion with this one, and you can see why. It's definitely giving rake energy. Number 50. Haunted Hotel. Could you pass a night in a haunted hotel? TikToker Hotel Jushatepik shares this footage of a bed of roses, but what most in the comments are focused on is something in the background. Listen closely.
Arregló con pétalos de rosas. Qué bonito. Qué bonito que todavía se encuentren hombres caballerosos y muy detallistas.
A scream is heard off camera.
Qué bonito que todavía se encuentren.
This is setting off red flags for viewers. Sure, it could be that neighborhood kids are playing around. It's not necessarily something nefarious. But this second video reveals that there could truly be something haunting going down at the Hotel Jushatepik. Watch the window closely.
Aquí más cerquita. Aquí más cerquita. Sí, miren, ahí se ve, se alcanza a ver una cara, unos ojos. Vamos a ver.
A face appears in the window, briefly for a second. But not just any face. It looks pale white, with big black cavernous eyes.
Aquí más cerquita. Sí, miren, ahí se ve, se alcanza a ver una cara, unos ojos. Vamos a ver.
Many in the comments are beyond afraid. The woman continues her tour, entering the hotel. And that's when this happens.
Aquí pues no se ve nada. Y aquí está la tele, donde estábamos. Donde se supone que se veía, pero no se ve nada. No entiendo qué. ¿Por qué estoy? ¡Ay! ¡Ay!
What was that? Did the figure of the ghost white face crash something? While researching this place, I couldn't find any information about this hotel or its potentially haunted history. So, this may be the first documented paranormal evidence here, and it may be grounds for a newfound haunted reputation.
Number 49.
Strange encounter. Any encounter in the woods can be off-putting, but this encounter, experienced by YouTuber Grizzly Gaz, is deeply unsettling. For a time, Grizzly Gaz is on his own, apart from his small dog.
Second bottle's nearly done.
But then, an unexpected visitor shows up.
Pot boiling for some mash. And I've got a visitor. Creeped up behind me asking me if I had a light. I shit my pants. This is Martin anyway.
Many in the comments think this stranger was following Gaz for longer than he knew. And in doing so, they believe he may have had dark intentions. YouTuber Mikey240688. Considering you're surrounded by twigs and fallen branches, the fact you didn't hear him until he made contact with you being right behind you tells me he had other ideas on his mind. As the night wears on, Gaz starts feeling the same way.
Didn't do much filming because of that lad, Martin, who creeped up behind me asking for a light. We were homeless, so I fed him some steak and some mashed potato, and he's gone on his way.
He tries to get the encounter out of his mind, but his paranoia grows.
Fed him, talking about life and how he got to where he is and drugs and whatnot. Turned round to cut some firewood up. When I turned back round, he'd gone. So, scanned about.
This odd behavior made Gaz think twice about overnighting in the woods.
Note's gone missing or out, he hadn't taken out. But the he just left without saying out has put the EBGBs up me.
Gaz thinks the man left abruptly for one of two reasons.
One, going to tell his mates there's a guy camping out with a load of filming equipment. And two, he's gone to score because he needs his fix. And even then, if he goes and scores, has his fix.
Many in the comments say it's smart of Gaz to trust his gut. Mufuliramark writes, "Mate, I was a cop for 30 years, and that sixth sense was my lifesaver on a few occasions. Don't ever ignore it." Others are saying the scariest thing you can meet in the woods is not animal, it's man. Not to get into the man versus bear debate, but this seems like the perfect example of why more people would opt for the bear.
Number 48. La Larona. While riding off-road into the darkness, TikToker Jose Maria Rios Castillo encountered something out of this world. Many in the comments believe this phantom sighting is La Larona. We've covered La Larona many times, but for those of you who are new to her, here's the shortened version of her history. Known as the Weeping Woman, La Larona is a folkloric figure in Latin America. This ghost of a woman wanders near bodies of water, mourning the loss of her children that she herself killed. Her story is both a cautionary tale and a reflection of grief, guilt, and the consequences of one's actions. Her legend begins when her husband eventually loses interest in her and spends more time away from home, often with other women. Consumed by jealousy and heartbreak, Maria drowns her children in a fit of rage and despair, only to immediately regret her actions. Overcome with guilt, she drowns herself as well. Upon reaching the afterlife, Maria is denied entry into heaven and condemned to wander the earth for eternity, searching for her lost children. Her ghostly wails are said to echo through the night, serving as both a warning and a lament. While the biker didn't hear any ghostly wails, maybe they did capture La Larona in mourning. And if so, this nighttime bike ride has come to an end. Number 47. Witch in the Window. If it wasn't Halloween when this video was captured, then who knows what to make of this. TikToker Amba Bambi shares footage of a terrifying witch looking through these folks' car window.
Go! Go! Oh my Tiana! It's okay, honey. Tiana!
When asked for story time in the comments, the OP says a random person approached their window, and that's it. There's no real story to tell. Some in the comments are thinking the creature is a zombie. Others think it looks straight out of The Conjuring.
Go!
Still others say the dog's reaction tells the true story. TikToker Scorpio writes, "Dogs sense bad intentions and bad-spirited people, so the growling says a lot." And even more TikTokers are offering up advice. Art Intrago suggests, you always need to match that energy, show them who is crazier and scarier, establish dominance. While this may just be a practical joke, most agree that Tiahana didn't drive away fast enough.
Go!
Number 46. Pillar of Light. A strange shadow pillar appeared in the sky over Hanoi, leading many to fear an extraterrestrial invasion. Shared by Facebook user NCHMF, the ominous pillar is illuminated by light on both sides. It is drawn up into the clouds, as though leading into the unknown. And this last pic reveals just how vast it is. The OP also shares this video of the pillar to heaven. Some in the comments think Superman has arrived, while others think extraterrestrials are beaming us up. Still others claim this is the stairway to heaven or the halo ring. But a few are saying this is the bank light phenomenon. What is the bank light phenomenon? After further research, a comment credited to climate change expert Dr. Nyok Hoi Nguyen seems to offer an explanation. Nguyen said this pillar of light is caused by the Citibank's lighting system. The lights beam into the night sky, and the layered clouds cause this interesting effect. While that seems logical enough, this may also be the beginnings of the rapture. Either way, it's definitely something that would keep you up at night when seen firsthand. Number 45. St. Elmos Fire. A mountaintop, an electrical charge. It all comes together in the perfect storm that is St. Elmos Fire. Instagrammer Hardwire Media shares this footage of the weather phenomenon on a mountaintop in Arabia.
Я не знаю, что это происходит, из пальцев выходят так нежная какая-то, и ничего, я не знаю, что это такое. Так я руку небо поднимаю.
This fascinating phenomenon has intrigued and mystified sailors and scientists alike for centuries.
Мария, ты криво сделал мне. Отставь.
Named after the patron saint of sailors,
This electrical weather occurrence manifests as a bright blue or violet glow, emanating from the tips of pointed objects, such as the masts of ships, church steeples, or even fingertips. The phenomenon has been documented since ancient times. Sailors in the Mediterranean Sea often regarded St. Elmos Fire as a good omen, believing it to be a sign of the saint's protection during storms. Christopher Columbus reported seeing St. Elmo's Fire during his voyages, describing it as a guiding light in turbulent seas. Throughout history, many seafarers took comfort in this luminous glow, associating it with divine intervention and safety amidst nature's fury. But it's not created by divine intervention.
Так, нервная какая-то, или что, я не знаю, что это такое. Вот так я руку небо поднимаю. И так пальцы. Два пальца поднял, головой.
St. Elmo's Fire is a type of continuous electrical discharge, a plasma, caused by the ionization of air during thunderstorms. It occurs when the atmosphere becomes highly charged. The intense electrical field generated in these conditions causes the air molecules around a pointed object to ionize nitrogen and oxygen in the atmosphere and emit light. The phenomenon is similar to the electrical discharge seen around high-voltage power lines. While the phenomenon is generally harmless, it serves as a visual indicator of the presence of a strong electric field, often signaling that lightning may soon follow. So, while these guys oughtn't worry that they'll be burnt by this so-called fire,
Я не знаю, что это происходит, из пальцев выходят. Так, нервная какая-то, или что, я не знаю, что это такое. Вот так я руку небо поднимаю. И так пальцы.
they may be risking being struck by lightning.
Number 44. Cloud of light. Some people see a face in the clouds. YouTuber Styling Head looked upward and captured this. The object looks like a cloud, but not. When the OP zooms in, it seems more like a plastic bag or something man-made, only it's blinking lights.
It's a cloud with lights in it. Moving weird. I've never seen no like that.
Many in the comments are commending the OP for such steady and clear videography.
A cloud got sparkly lights in it. I've never seen no shit like that. Moving weird.
But others are far more enamored with how truly bizarre this so-called cloud looks. Its behavior isn't cloud-like at all, and as it drifts away, it simply disappears.
You see the sparkling lights in it. Never seen no shit like this in my life.
Viewers offer up their theories in the comments. YouTuber Machine That Creates writes, between the sparkles and the unnatural movement of the cloud, I'd say that it was definitely a cloaked phenomenon. What's a cloaked phenomenon? Another YouTuber in the comments seems to clarify this. Mona Damus42 writes, hundreds of people, including myself, have seen these. Apparently, they are referred to as cloud ships in the unidentified flying object community. They use a cloud-like visual as a cloak. Could this really be a cloud cloak or a cloud ship? Let's take a deeper look at these concepts. These terms refer to the belief that unidentified flying objects can disguise themselves as clouds or use advanced cloaking technology to blend into their surroundings, making them virtually undetectable by the naked eye. Cloud ships are believed to be unidentified flying objects that hide within or mimic the appearance of clouds. Proponents of this theory suggest that these extraterrestrial or advanced man-made craft can either generate clouds around themselves or project holographic images of clouds to conceal their presence. This phenomenon is often reported in areas with frequent and unusual cloud formations, where witnesses claim to have seen distinctly shaped clouds that appear to move against the wind or exhibit unusual behavior, such as rapid shape-shifting. Popular culture has played a significant role in shaping the public's perception of these phenomena, with science fiction films often depicting futuristic vehicles capable of invisibility and advanced camouflage, while skeptics argue that these sightings can often be explained by natural meteorological phenomena, such as lenticular clouds or optical illusions. Believers maintain that the sheer volume and consistency of reports suggests something more extraordinary. In fact, there are dozens of commenters in this video's thread who say they've seen very similar cloud-like objects in the sky. So, are we looking at an extraterrestrial invasion or monitoring that's been artfully disguised? Maybe, because to many, this doesn't look quite like a cloud, and that's completely uncanny. Number 43. The Predator. TikToker Smug Puppy has long been dealing with unknown entities in their home, but they seem to be growing more aggressive. This clip captures the fear that's taken over their lives.
It's chasing me! Something's chasing me! Stop it! Stop it! It's coming after me! Oh my... Shut the door! Dad, shut the door, please! Please shut the door! Shut the door!
The girl says something is chasing her, though she didn't see anything. She only heard it coming after her, which somehow sounds so much worse. Though she begs her father not to, he insists on going to check it out.
You know, please don't go out!
Just gonna be the blue.
No, Dad, please! Please don't go out! Please don't go out!
There's nothing there. What's that?
He hears a quiet growl, and then, a moment later,
Yeah, no. 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 Hold on. What the f*** that?
they've grown so used to the many entities that terrorize them that they've become rather nonchalant about it. Many in the comments take these inconsistencies as signs that their videos are staged. TikToker Tina G, for instance, writes, "Running for her life, but remembered to take her shoes off before going into the house." Louis DV adds, "If you look very closely when she enters the house, she's shouting something else." This appears to be true. Take a closer look.
It's chasing me! Something's chasing me! Stop it! Stop it! It's coming after me! Oh my... Shut the door! Dad, shut the door, please!
While this dubbing and the bare feet have many questioning the legitimacy of this video, others are saying that they should move ASAP. What do you think? Are they about to be the next installment of Alien vs. Predator? Number 42. The Howl. This type of howl is not of this world. Instagrammer OHV02 shares footage of a worker in the middle of a forest. They're preparing their chainsaw when they hear this. Some in the comments think that's the sound of a werewolf. Others think it's Siren Head. Still others are more concerned that the worker didn't shut the tractor door. Instagrammer I'm Awesome RJ suggests it's not a werewolf, but rather a timber wolf. Known for its iconic howl, The timber wolf is native to North America, Europe, and Asia. The beast is a top predator with a thick fur coat that lives everywhere from dense forests and tundras to grasslands and deserts. Historically, timber wolves have been both revered and feared by human cultures. Indigenous peoples of North America have long respected the wolf for its strength and resilience, featuring it in their folklore and traditions. It definitely sounds like a wolf's howl of some kind, but it's hard to tell if it's a werewolf, a timber wolf, or just a regular old wolf. At least, brandishing a chainsaw, this worker can prepare for any eventuality.
Number 41. Corydila. Do you have a fear of insects? Then you might want to skip this one. Shared by Redditor Teti Du Cordy, this is the Corydila, one of the world's largest flying insects. And frankly, it's horrifying. Commonly known as Dobson flies and fish flies, Corydila are known for their impressive size, particularly the males, which can reach considerable lengths, with wingspans ranging from 7 to 17 centimeters, or 2.6 to 6.7 inches. The body length of Dobson flies, excluding their long antennae, typically ranges from 5 to 10 centimeters, or 2 to 4 inches. Although they're found worldwide, Corydila are prominent in the Americas. These insects often reside near water bodies, as their larvae require aquatic environments to thrive. Despite their pincers giving them a somewhat fearsome appearance, adult Dobson flies are generally harmless to humans, though they can deliver a painful bite if handled improperly. So take a step back and watch those pincers. Number 40.
Supercell. As a supercell lights up the sky over Denver, Redditor Snow Bunny Biscuit believes they've captured a phenomenon rarely seen: ball lightning. Although the sky alone looks impressive, what they're curious about is the purple light flashing in the darkness. Is it ball lightning? Ball lightning is one of the most debated phenomena in atmospheric science. Described as glowing, spherical objects that appear during thunderstorms, these mysterious balls of light range in size from a few centimeters to several meters in diameter. The balls can last from mere seconds to several minutes. Unlike regular lightning, which is a rapid discharge of electricity, ball lightning moves more slowly and unpredictably, sometimes floating near the ground or passing through windows and walls without causing damage. The nature of ball lightning remains elusive. Some scientists believe that much like St. Elmos Fire, ball lightning is a form of plasma, a hot, ionized gas that emits light. This theory suggests that the balls are formed from the ionization of air molecules during a lightning strike. Although this does look like similar videos of alleged ball lightning captured on camera, some in the comments think it's something else. Redditor Zen Again writes, "Some infrared sensor or something reflecting off the window you are filming through." Others agree, saying it looks like the iPhone sensor. Is it ball lightning? Or simply the OP's own cell phone? The only way to find out is to put the phone down, and no one is going to do that.
Number 39.
Kitchen ghost. This ghost is just chillin'. The OP says her husband just sent her this photo captured by a friend. According to the friend, he saw a ghost walking down the hallway of his home, but couldn't see the phantom's face. What's more is his wife also saw it. Then, months later, he took some photos of their son outside their home, and while browsing them later, noticed this. There is clearly a figure standing in the corner of the kitchen, and the figure has no face. Most in the comments are getting the heebie-jeebies. Some are saying the nondescript face is the creepiest part. It looks like a void. Others are saying the unsettling photo has been doctored, but who wants to believe that? Could it be just an obscured reflection of someone standing outside? Maybe. But whatever it is, there's no going back in that house.
Number 38. Saharan Highway. Ready for a road trip? What if you couldn't see 2 feet in front of you? Redditor Leaftman shares this footage of a drive through the Saharan Desert in Algeria. As a sandstorm swirls through, visibility becomes almost non-existent.
Oh no no. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله.
Many in the comments are wondering why he's still driving at top speed at this point, but he eventually pulls over. And his car is completely sandblasted. But it's what happens at the end of the clip that's giving some people pause. It looks like an oncoming vehicle is about to crash into him head-on. While most can agree that this is terrifying, the general consensus is a lot of that terror could have been prevented by pulling over. Here's some advice for facing any sandstorm while on the road. Pull to the side of the road and turn on your headlights and hazard lights. This is not only due to low visibility, but the risk of sand clogging the engine and other vehicle parts. Then, simply wait it out. Sandstorms in the Sahara can last from a few minutes to several hours, so hopefully you've still got some service and some juice in your phone. Number 37.
Lights in the sky. These strange lights in the sky over Redditor Strumstrum's home has them worried about potential extraterrestrial abduction. A series of 4 or 5 lights blink off and on. They appear to be beaming upward. While most in the comments agree it's not extraterrestrial, not many agree on what exactly these lights are. Redditor Quachus says they're most likely searchlights since they seem to converge at the same point. They share this image. Many in the comments disagree, however, saying if they were searchlights, you'd see them coming from the ground. But Quachus counters, it baffles me that people don't know how light interacts with atmosphere. No, the beam will not come from the ground unless it's in foggy-like conditions. The light bounces off the vapor which is why in the case of searchlights, you can see it in the clouds, but not on the ground, unless you have the right conditions, like fog. But others in the comments add that searchlights don't pulse. Flight for Fright X writes, "Pulsating lights are not useful for search and rescue. It confuses and disorients. It is just common sense." So how do you explain this? Can't Touch This in the comments says, there's a large estate that hosts events 2 miles away, and they often see similar lights in the sky from these events. This seems to be the most likely explanation. Or maybe our extraterrestrial neighbors are just having a jam session in the clouds.
Number 36.
Ghost Lugie. Do ghosts clear their throats? Do they hawk loogies? Redditor LongWelder6289 reviewed their Ring doorbell footage and heard something unusual. When he sent the video clip to a friend, the friend couldn't hear anything at all. So the OP is reaching out to the Reddit community to get to the bottom of this mystery. Listen closely. Aside from the OP's own loud footsteps, what do you hear? Redditor Chaps D Misfit says it sounds like something hawking a loogie, and the OP agrees. The OP writes, "It even looks like it, because something flies across timed with it, but could just be a coincidence and dust orb. Although watching it again, it flies fast across for a bit of dust." While the noise could be coming from within the home, a stranger hacking into the camera is another possibility. Hacking into Ring cameras, unfortunately, has become a growing concern. Home security cameras can be vulnerable to cyber attacks if not properly secured. There have been several high-profile cases where Ring cameras were hacked. In one instance, a hacker accessed a family's camera and harassed their young daughter, speaking to her through the device and making inappropriate comments. In another case, a hacker gained control of a camera and began taunting the homeowners, demonstrating the ease with which these devices can be exploited if not properly secured. This could be a case of hacking, but most in the comments seem to think the noise is coming from inside the home. If the OP's claims that the sound isn't him are to be believed, then the question becomes, is a ghost hawking a phantom loogie in his home? If someday he slips on an unknown substance on the floor, we'll know for sure.
Number 35.
In the haystack. This isn't like finding a needle in a haystack. This creature sticks out like a sore thumb. TikToker Zane Balak Vlogger shares creepy footage of a mysterious creature moving against the hay. It looks like an enormous snake with its body wrapped up around it. Some are saying it's a king cobra, which are native to Pakistan, where this video was shot. King cobras are known for their impressive size, potent venom, and distinctive hood. As the longest venomous snake in the world, adults typically reach lengths of 10 to 13 feet, though some can grow up to 18 feet. Its sleek, olive green, tan, or black body features faint, pale bands and a lighter underbelly. True to their scientific name, which means snake eater, king cobras primarily prey on other snakes, including rat snakes, small pythons, and even other venomous species. But that doesn't mean they can't kill humans. A single bite can deliver enough venom to kill an elephant or 20 humans. King cobras are unique among snakes because they build nests for their eggs. The female uses her body to gather leaves and other debris into a mound, where she lays 20 to 40 eggs. She fiercely guards the nest until the eggs hatch, which takes about 2 to 3 months. If this really is a king cobra, is that what it's doing? Guarding its eggs in its nest? When the camera zooms in on the creature, it's not any clearer what this is. But some are saying zooming in further does give you a glimpse behind the curtain. TikToker AS writes, "If you zoom in on the clip, you will see a person who is not a snake." But zooming isn't confirming that this is fake. In fact, it looks no more like a person than it does a snake. And Sophie writes, "Everyone's saying king cobra. I'm here thinking it's a mummy." Clearly, this one's up in the air. Whatever this is, it's best to put some distance, because it does look dangerous. Number 34. Curtain Ghost. What's it like to live in a haunted house? YouTuber Our Life in Washington knows, and he's gotten so used to it that nothing phases him.
Rabbit here. Got a little Chewy just kind of chilling out here. I swear the shower curtain just moved.
After he pulls the shower curtain wide, only to find nothing there, he looks around the other side just to make sure.
That is weird. Anyway, things happen in this house.
Still nothing. Chewy looks a bit mystified as well. Bathroom ghosts are often seen as preying on the living's vulnerabilities.
Got a little Chewy just kind of chilling out here. I swear the shower curtain just moved.
For those who believe in the paranormal, haunted bathrooms are often seen as sites of residual energy or portals. The water element, present in bathrooms, is thought to amplify spiritual energy, making it easier for ghosts to manifest. Look, one is manifesting now. Don't let them draw you into their portal. Number 33. Edinburgh Castle Ghost. If you know anything about Edinburgh, Scotland, you know it's ridiculously haunted, particularly its famous castle on the hill. Redditor LibsHits74 shares this photo of Edinburgh Castle, captured from below. Take a look. The figure hanging out the window looks somehow off. To some in the comments, it doesn't look like a living being. Redditor OldButterscotch8856 suggests a ghost on a smoke break. But to others, it looks like a normal dude. LH1466 writes, Edinburgh Castle is still an active army barracks, so it's definitely just a dude in uniform. D Punisher adds, looks like a bad face paint job as a camo attempt.
More theories include a cardboard cutout or Photoshop. But later in the thread, the OP posts 3 more images of the figure, and this makes the post all the creepier. In these 3 photos, the face of the figure appears blurred, and the figure also appears to have moved, like it lifted its head. Some background on Edinburgh Castle might convert the non-believers. Perched atop Castle Rock, Edinburgh Castle is steeped in history, dating back to at least the Iron Age. It has served as a royal residence, military stronghold, and fortress throughout the centuries, witnessing countless battles, sieges, and moments of significant historical importance. This storied history has contributed to its reputation as one of the most haunted places in Scotland. One of the most famous specters to haunt Edinburgh Castle is the Lone Piper. According to legend, centuries ago, a piper was sent to explore the castle's extensive underground passages. Playing his bagpipes as he walked to guide his way, he suddenly vanished without a trace. Today, visitors and staff report hearing the eerie sound of distant bagpipes playing within the castle's walls, especially in the dead of night, as if the ghostly piper is still wandering the hidden tunnels below. The castle is fitted with haunted dungeons, where prisoners of war and accused witches lived out their last days. And the castle's Great Hall is another hotspot for supernatural sightings. Some visitors have reported encountering the spirits of soldiers and nobles, dressed in period attire, who appear to vanish in the blink of an eye. The phantom figures often seem engaged in silent conversations or reenactments of historical events. So, while some may say that this figure is very much alive, Edinburgh Castle's tales of restless spirits, tragic deaths, and mysterious disappearances suggest otherwise. Number 32. Haunted Rocker. This ghostly dog lover is continuing their behind-the-ear scratches in the afterlife. Redditor Whichever writes, "My dog acts like someone is scratching her ears in the middle of the night or in broad daylight. But that's not all. The OP's 300-year-old chair rocks on its own, but when you look directly at it, it immediately stops." The OP shares these photos, explaining that each of the photos is from a different day. And they explain that they didn't include a video clip because when they try to film their dog, she just stands there like she's embarrassed. The OP writes, "As soon as she knows we're looking at her, she just drops her head and acts like, 'Who? Me? I'm not doing anything.' Standing there, shuffling her feet, looking back at me instead of chair friend. Very anticlimactic. Although the dog's behavior is strange, the chair itself is the real showstopper." According to the OP, the antique shop owner who sold it claims it was a Windsor chair made in the mid to late 1700s. Many in the comments think the OP may have been lied to, with some saying the oldest known rocking chair in existence is just 200 years old. Still, even if it's only a century old, that seems like enough history for a potential haunting. Or, more likely, an attachment. Attachments are entities that attach themselves to a person, object, or place, exerting influence or presence over the attached subject. This concept is often explored in the fields of paranormal investigation, where individuals report experiencing persistent and unexplained phenomena tied to their daily lives, like old rocking chairs rocking and strange behavior from their pets. Unlike transient ghost encounters, attachments are marked by ongoing experiences. These can include repeated sightings of the entity, strange noises, or other inexplicable occurrences that follow the person or remain associated with a specific object or location. Physical signs such as objects moving on their own are commonly reported. In more severe cases, individuals or animals might experience physical touches, scratches, or bruises that cannot be explained by natural causes. Some believe that certain objects, like antiques or items with significant historical value, may carry residual energy or spirits that attach to new owners. Is that what's happening here? Considering the chair's history,
That seems like a very real possibility.
Number 31.
The wheelchair. This chair is wheeling all on its own. TikToker Joe Selby KZQS shares footage of a strange phenomenon happening right outside their door.
Mira, ma, Lore. Mira, mira, Lore, mira, otra vez, mira, mira. Dale, 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 mira, mira. Dale, vení, 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 mira, 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 mira acá, mira.
Ay, boludo.
Mira, 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 Nicolás, vení, mira.
As everyone starts to panic, the ghostly wheelchair turns toward them.
No, tengo miedo. A ver.
No, boludo, no.
A ver.
Vos estás haciendo un chiste.
No, boludo, ¿cómo que estamos acá todos,
Ay,
mira.
déjame joder. Correte, Nicolás, correte. No.
Mira, mira.
While many in the comments believe there's fishing line attached, or the vibration of passing cars is involved, others are seeing this in a different light. TikToker Lucas Daniel Galaber writes, "They say that when we go to the other plane, we become young and healthy again. If I'm going to die to continue in a wheelchair, just leave me here." Maybe there's a young and healthy ghost in the wheelchair, just playing a prank on the living. Or maybe, like the rocking chair in the earlier clip, there's an attachment involved with this one. Without a closer look, we'll never know.
Number 30.
Haunted Hospital. CDT Hospital in Sotero del Rio, Santiago, Chile, is a creepy place. And this footage has solidified its haunted reputation. TikToker Valerie Aim shares video evidence of a ghostly wheelchair activating on its own.
Estas son las cosas que pasan aquí en CDT con Chesum. Me cago.
The wheelchair continues to roll around without an occupant, or at least with none that we can see.
Ándate la mierda. ¿Pero qué es eso?
Hospitals are commonly believed to be haunted due to the nature of the pain, suffering, and death that occurs there, and also due to their often storied histories.
Estas son las cosas que pasan aquí en CDT con Chesum. Me cago. Ándate la mierda.
Many hospitals are decade or even century-old buildings, with periods where medical practices were less advanced, leading to more patient deaths. And in some cases, these practices were morally and ethically questionable. The architectural layout and acoustics of hospitals also plays into their scary factor. Echoing halls, long empty corridors, and dim lighting create a creepy environment conducive to paranoia of the paranormal. Medical equipment, ventilation systems, and emergency lights can also contribute to strange sounds and experiences, considering the often heightened emotions of grief, stress, and fear experienced by patients, visitors, and staff. This all combines to push the narrative of hospitals being epicenters of paranormal activity. Folklore and legends surrounding former patients or workers of these haunted spaces heightens this narrative. Are we just susceptible to these stories and effects? Maybe. But when you see it with your own eyes,
Cosas que pasan aquí en CDT con Chesum. Me cago.
it's hard to dismiss.
Number 29.
Remains uncovered. What would you do if you found human remains on your land? Redditor Ross Ion Q1's land was once part of an old rice and cotton plantation. It also had a cemetery for slaves, though they don't know the exact location. After a heavy rainfall recently, this was uncovered. Take a closer look. It looks like the corner of a coffin. But some in the comments are saying it's unlikely to be slavery related. One archaeologist in the comments, Redditor Janax21, has done work on these types of plantations and believes it could be a coffin, but is more likely to be that of a white person, as most slaves were either buried directly or in pine boxes that would have disintegrated. They write, "I've seen metal coffins, but they're rare and were purchased or used by rich people in a really narrow period of time. If one exists on your family land, it'll almost certainly be in a known white cemetery." The Redditor also thinks it could be something other than a coffin, suggesting a feature related to the rice-growing watering system or a root cellar for storage. Another former archaeologist, MN Key Magic, offers some advice, writing, "If you find what you believe to be human remains, there are 2 steps to follow. Call your local law enforcement to ensure they aren't connected to any modern cases. Call your local or state university and get in contact with the archaeology department. If it's a historical site, it should be documented, mapped, and then either excavated or protected. While this may not be something as grisly as a coffin, it could be practically anything, which is something the internet cannot comprehend."
Number 28. Flying figure. A figure flying through the air was caught on Instagrammer Owen Sean's Ring camera. And this one's undeniable. Something ghostly and semi-transparent passes through the hammock and has enough force to flip it over. It, or another figure, is later seen passing by again at the top of the camera's frame. Some are saying it's Casper. Others suggest it's a ghost playing Superman. Still others are saying it's the ghost dog from A Nightmare Before Christmas. It could also be smoke rings, as some Instagrammers believe. But that wouldn't explain the hammock flipping over on its own, unless someone off-screen pushed it. What do you think it is? Number 27. Little figures. In the dead of night, YouTuber Gwendolyn Severite captured some potentially folkloric figures on camera by the light of their flashlight. And they're wondering what exactly these beings are. Watch them peek out from behind a rock. A little later, they peer out again. When they turn the flashlight on again, the figure pops out once more.
Who's that?
They think it's an elf, but it could be any number of tiny mythological creatures. Nearly every culture has its own version of diminutive beings, and more often than not, they're sneaky. Elves are perhaps the most famous. Originating from German mythology, these pointy-eared creatures inhabit forests and magical realms. Then there are the duendes, small mischievous creatures found in Spanish and Latin American folklore. Similar to elves, they are often associated with the natural world, particularly forests and rural areas. Duendes are known for their trickster nature, playing pranks on humans and sometimes helping or hindering them. We can't forget leprechauns. In Irish mythology, leprechauns are small, bearded fairies dressed in green, often associated with wealth and luck. They are solitary creatures, typically found mending shoes. Clever and cunning, They are adept at evading capture by humans. According to legend, if a leprechaun is caught, he must grant 3 wishes in exchange for his release. Brownies are leprechauns' English and Scottish neighbors. These are small benevolent spirits that help with household chores. They are nocturnal creatures, coming out at night to tidy up homes and barns. In return for their services, they expect small offerings of food, such as bread and milk. Asian countries have small mythological beings as well. Tengu are bird-like creatures from Japan. They are considered both mischievous spirits and protectors of the mountains and forests. Tengu are skilled martial artists and are often depicted with both human and avian features, such as wings and beaks. While they can be tricksters, leading travelers astray, they are also revered as guardians of sacred spaces and skilled teachers of the martial arts. So while it's an elf may be our first instinct when we see this creature, there are a number of other tiny folkloric friends to choose from. What do you think this is? Number 26. Baby Bigfoot. We've all seen images of full-grown Bigfoots in the wild. But in the beginning, these monstrous creatures are babies, just like the rest of us. TikToker Bigfoot Theory shares footage of what they believe is a baby Sasquatch hiding in a tree.
Whoa. You see what I'm seeing?
Many in the comments are stumped with this one, as they don't see anything but a tree. TikToker King Rat writes, "More proof that Bigfoot only exists in our imaginations." Others are seeing baby owls or 2 raccoons, but some are believers. Howl agrees it's a baby Sasquatch, writing, "He looks about 3 years old." If it really is a Sasquatch, the question is, are baby Sasquatches to be feared? Some cryptozoologists suggest no. Juvenile Sasquatches, as they term them, typically standing between 3 to 4 feet tall, and are described as having a more similarly proportionate body size to human children. Their hair is softer than their adult counterparts, and their facial features are generally described as more human-like, with wide-set eyes, a flat nose, and a less pronounced brow ridge. They are considered curious and playful, but are often not on their own. So, even though the babies needn't be feared, be wary that if you see a baby Sasquatch, an adult is likely lurking nearby. Baby Sasquatch sightings can therefore serve as a warning to watch your back. Number 25. Phantom Runner. Did CCTV just capture a phantom runner? TikToker AngeTTK shares this footage, captured at 10 p.m. in October of 2019. Watch closely.
Ayun. Okay, back natin. Back natin.
The capture is quick, but it's there, and it's wholly unexplainable.
17. Tingnan nyo dito. Ayun.
Many in the comments are saying this ghost is the real deal. They even share their own stories of ghost sightings, including of white lady ghosts and corpse ghosts. This is rare capture, a full-bodied apparition. Unlike fleeting shadows or obscure mists,
Full-bodied apparitions are often considered the most compelling form of ghost sightings due to their lifelike appearance. While this one is not particularly detailed, it's full in form. Some full-bodied apparitions appear solid, but many are described as being semi-transparent or having a slight glow. They can move through spaces naturally, walk through walls, or disappear suddenly, like this one. Skeptics often attribute sightings of full-bodied apparitions to psychological phenomena, hallucinations, or the power of suggestion. Environmental factors like lighting, reflections, and the state of mind of the observer can also play significant roles in these experiences. But are we all hallucinating at once? Is this just the lighting? A reflection?
17. Tingnan nyo dito. Ayun.
That's doubtful. This may just be the real deal.
Number 24.
Haunted cave. After being told about a haunted cave in the middle of the desert, YouTuber Field Days rose to the challenge. An overnighter in the cave, solo. Darkness, dripping water, moving air, acoustics that amplify sound. It's no wonder that caves have long had a haunted history. And this is founded in historical folklore. Many ancient civilizations, including the Greeks, Romans, and Mayans, believed caves were portals to the underworld or realms of the dead. The Greeks, for instance, had the Oracle of Delphi, where priestesses would descend into a cave to receive prophecies from the gods. In medieval Europe, caves were often associated with dragons, demons, and witches. Such beliefs rooted caves in the supernatural. So an overnighter, particularly in this haunted cave, is not for the faint of heart.
Which we are going to call home until it's morning. So once I go in, we are not coming back out of this cave until the sun comes up tomorrow morning. And if there is weird ghost activities or something like that.
He arrives at the entrance to the cave, and even before stepping inside, he gets the chills.
This is the entrance to the bedroom for the night, and it is not what I expected at all. Quickly have a look at this. Hello?
Getting inside is its own feat.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna jump on this shonky ladder, which goes way down there. And once we get inside the cave, there is no leaving.
And once inside, there's no going back.
Okay, outside world, I'll see you tomorrow morning when we're climbing out of this cave.
Exploring the caves throws up so many red flags.
What's this hole? Oh my, what goes down there? That is hectic. Do you reckon I can get in there?
From small tunnels to large caverns, there seems to be no end to the haunted cave.
Oh, this is creepy, man.
As he's exploring, he starts to hear noises in the darkness.
It's just something I've never heard before. Very strange sound. The first one was a rock falling. Way over there somewhere there was a rock which is just sort of like, the second sound, I froze, man. I was like frozen, like I couldn't move. I was just waiting for something just to like whack.
Just as he's getting settled in for dinner, he hears the strangest noise yet.
In a haunted cave. Oh my, that was the sound. That is the sound. Did you hear that? Look at my arms.
It almost sounds like chains being dragged. In fact, that's exactly what he thinks it is.
That you climb down into this cave on, it's moving. Now, you can't move that chain with wind. It's way too heavy. There is no wind coming in here. There's no wind even for
As the chain is heard clanging even more violently, his fear grows.
I've got my backpack back on, and I'm booting on out of here. I just heard a sound. The bats, can you listen to this? Just listen for 2 seconds. Hear the bats?
The not normal sound he heard was heard off camera, so it's not clear what it was. But he's taken the disturbance of the bats as another hint that something isn't right down here. Still, he stays in the cave, sticking near the entrance for a time. But again, he hears the inhuman noise.
The only way I can describe this noise, it's between a cat hissing and it sounds like human voice. Like, I'm not even joking, it sounds human-like. I can't even make the sound with my mouth. It's an extremely...
Whatever is in there could be literally anything. Animal? Possibly. Human? Maybe. Humanoid? Probably. Who wants to stick around to find out?
Number 23.
Glowing orb. In the middle of the night, Redditor Select Stock 1991 security camera captured this oddity floating in the darkness outside. They're wondering what it could be. Some in the comments suggest it's an orb. Others say it's just a bug, maybe even a lightning bug. Still others think it's a camera glitch or reflection. Redditor Consideration Fit 3175 gets creative, writing, "Spider on a strand of web, gently floating in the breeze." Or it's an alien fairy Civil War premonition, coming back to get its revenge. Or perhaps enjoying a nice mint julep. Hard to say. While an alien fairy Civil War premonition sounds like an amazing manifestation, an orb may be more likely. Typically appearing as a spherical glowing light in photographs or videos, orbs are a subject of fascination and debate among paranormal enthusiasts and skeptics alike. Believers believe orbs are spiritual entities or an angelic presence of some sort manifested as light. And this idea has roots in various cultural and religious traditions. In some cultures, balls of light were considered omens or signs from the gods. In more recent times, 19th and 20th century spiritual movements often reported seeing mysterious lights during seances or spiritual gatherings. Skeptics, on the other hand, argue that orbs are more likely caused by natural phenomena. Common explanations include dust particles, pollen, or moisture droplets reflecting light back into the camera lens. This can create the illusion of a glowing orb in videos or photographs, especially when using flash photography. Whether seen as spiritual manifestations or explained away by environmental factors, orbs are a mysterious and intriguing phenomenon. Then again, this could just be a lightning bug.
Number 22.
Haunted apartment. This apartment is haunted. Redditor What's a Username 4190 has video proof. A dark and dastardly whisper when no one's around. Listen closely. Some in the comments say it's strange for a camera to be placed here in the first place, but the OP says they set it up to keep an eye on their things while they were out. Others think the sound could be coming from the TV. Though the OP doesn't respond to that suggestion, many others suggest it sounds more like a voice in the room. And what the voice is saying is debatable. Redditor WiseAd253 thinks it says, "Go to Costco. Go, go. Bug Comb hears an albino." Blacha Baby suggests, "You're a good boy." While Accomplished P590 is hearing, "Dragon Boy." That last one seems to be the most popular. Then again, it may simply be audio pareidolia. Pareidolia is not limited to visual experiences. It can also occur with sounds. People might hear hidden messages in music played backward, or interpret random noise as a coherent voice. Our brains are wired to seek and recognize familiar sounds, even when they aren't really there. But are we just hearing things all at once? Something is there. The real question is whether it's a ghost, a living person, or the television. Number 21. Mausoleum of Terror. YouTuber Franco TV passed a fearful night in this mausoleum of terror. As he comes across a creepy bed of sunflowers, he hears a scream in the night.
And they grew pretty quick unless they were planted. You heard that? I just heard another scream.
He then encounters a desecrated tomb.
Looks like somebody desecrated this tomb. I don't know if that bag was with the body or what. El Modro Ramos Acosta.
He arrives at a statue where he'd heard something on a former visit. And he hears something again.
Alright, I'm now making it to the backside of the cemetery. Right there where that statue is right where I heard the... What the was that?
A little further on, he places a REM pod at the top of a crypt and descends into it.
I make my way inside. I don't even see the ball.
On a previous visit here, this happened.
Oh my... Nope.
Despite the past experience, he descends, and the REM pod responds to him.
Can I come inside? Can you give me permission to come inside? Is that a yes?
Franco decides against entering, which is probably for the best. He continues around the cemetery and is getting a creepy feeling from these nearby tombs. As he approaches, this happens.
Hello? Ricardito? It just opened. The door just opened up. ¿Tú quieres que yo entres?
He looks down into the tomb, and it's too spooky.
I'll turn on my light again, hold on. I can't see anything. Can you open it again for me? ¿Tú puedes abrirlo otra vez?
As it's about time for Franco to leave, he sees a figure in one of the tombs.
I still want to keep exploring, even though I have to leave in the next 20 minutes. There's something in there.
Still not knowing what it is, he decides to go the other way.
I don't know if that's a face or what is that. I'm not going to bother with it because I was going to piss someone off, but I did hear banging coming from here.
What do you think this is? Is it a mummy coming to life? Is it a grave robber? I don't know what it is, but if I was Franco, I'd be turning around too.
Number 20. Coral Cafe Ghost. At around 4 a.m. at the Coral Cafe in Burbank, California, a man was cleaning when he was disturbed by an uncanny being. YouTuber Jerry Lentz shares this footage of a strange anomaly disrupting the early morning prep. Most folks in the comments believe this is the real deal, and they're wondering if this employee felt the spirit grasp onto him. Some in the comments have been to the cafe and claim that they've heard tales about the place. It is also said to have been a favorite haunt of Mr. Horror himself, Stephen King. YouTuber Chet Shetty writes, "My friends and I went there earlier today. This was my second time, and my friend jokingly asked the people working there if the place is haunted. Both times we went, he asked, and at least 2 employees confirmed it. Are these stories, coupled with this video footage, proof enough to confirm that the Coral Cafe is haunted?" After seeing this clip, its reputation doesn't seem too far-fetched. Number 19.
Flying creature. Security cameras can capture some odd anomalies. This certainly seems to be one of them. TikToker Angel the Great Pyrenees shares footage of a creature in flight captured on camera at 4 a.m. The OP asks TikTok for some ideas as to what this is. And of course, TikTokers don't disappoint. Suggestions range from the Magic School Bus to Santa, and from Tinkerbell to Aladdin on his magic carpet. TikToker Nana56 says they've had similar illuminated flying objects show up on their cameras. They write, "I see lights like that in my backyard at night too. I replay my Ring security camera and I don't know what they are, but I've been seeing them for a few years now." Some think it's a bat, a drone, or a sugar glider. But TikToker TB03830's theory is probably the most logical. They write simply, "bug on IR, low shutter speed." Still, a closer look at the thing does make one lean toward sugar glider. Sugar gliders are small nocturnal marsupials native to Australia, New Guinea, and the surrounding islands. Known for their remarkable gliding abilities, sugar gliders have also become popular exotic pets in many parts of the world. They typically measure about 9 to 12 inches from nose to tail and have soft, gray fur with a distinctive black stripe running down their backs. One of their coolest features is a stretchy membrane that extends from their wrists to their ankles, allowing them to glide to escape predators and find food. Launching themselves from high points, they can glide for distances of up to 150 feet. They use their tails for balance and steering, allowing for impressive control in the air. And they are most active at night. It's unclear where the OP is located, but judging by their hashtag and username, the Great Pyrenees would be a good guess. The Pyrenees are located between Spain and France, which might make this sugar glider theory less likely. However, Seeing as many now keep these marsupials as pets, it's not out of the question. Is this a sugar glider? Your guess is as good as mine. Number 18. The face. While filming their puppy, TikToker Dreadlim21 captures something unexpected on camera, and it's going to keep you up at night. See if you can spot it. Did you see it? A woman's face appears for a moment near the closet. Watch again closely. The OP says there was no one else home. So, who or what is this? While the creepy ghost girl with long dark hair has become a bit of a trope in horror films, that's for good reason. This spectral figure, often dressed in white with her face obscured by her hair, is a recurring symbol of supernatural terror. The archetype can be traced back to Japanese folklore, particularly the figure of the eerie. These are the spirits who have returned from the dead to seek vengeance or fulfill an unresolved duty. A famous example is the onryo, a vengeful ghost, often depicted as a woman with long, disheveled hair covering her face, wearing a white burial kimono. This image was popularized in Japanese horror cinema, especially in films like The Ring and The Grudge, where the ghost girls Sadako and Kayako, respectively, have made their home in the collective minds of viewers everywhere. These apparitions often move in unnerving ways, appearing suddenly or crawling in an unnatural manner, just like this one. Their presence is usually accompanied by a sense of dread and foreboding. Is this just a trope? Or is it the eerie come to life? The OP shouldn't take their chances. Number 17. Poltergeist activity. TikToker Domadios has experienced a series of mysterious events that may point to poltergeist activity in his home. He documents these experiences in a series of videos on TikTok, all of which occurred when he was home alone. Take a look.
Hello? Hello? I swear you bet.
Many in the comments advise Domadios not to show fear. But how can you avoid it when this happens?
I literally just had that door thing happening. And now I have that happening. There is nobody in there. And now I have my freaking lights going on and off when I'm trying to sleep.
As his lights turn on and off, he becomes increasingly panicked.
How is anybody supposed to sleep? What the? Hello?
Some in the comments are hearing the name Connor.
Hello?
Others are seeing a shadow peek out from the bathroom at this point.
And like, how is anybody supposed to sleep? What the?
And it doesn't end there. In a third video, the OP is getting ready for work when multiple doors start moving on their own.
Hey guys, just waking up, getting ready for work, and here we go once again. We got this door moving. We got my bathroom door moving. Hey, please stop, spirits. Please.
Then, the poltergeist takes it to the next level.
I'm actually, like, honestly scared to go check right now, because what if something's there? Oh. Oh. Please stop. Please.
The OP checks all the closets and again finds nothing. The poltergeist seems to be escalating. It's throwing things now. In another clip, he arrives home from work to a creaking door, only for his brave cat to spring into action.
Stop. I said stop. Kitty? Kitty? Stop. I said stop.
He looks around the room, and as he does, this happens.
Spirits, this is enough. I said stop. Enough is enough. Okay. I said stop.
Although the OP is becoming firmer with the spirit, it has yet to listen. In fact, things take a terrifying turn. In another clip, he's woken up in the night to the most nightmarish manifestation yet. The entity has escalated. What will happen next? Domadios has become desensitized to the activity, as witnessed in the final clip. He doesn't sound as fearful anymore. Instead, he's just annoyed. And maybe it's this apathy that finally gets the ghost to listen.
Stop. Turn it off. I need to sleep. Thank you. Now leave.
Although it takes him many times asking the ghost to stop and to leave, it seemingly does in the end. But it's TikTok's general opinion that there's a strong probability this isn't the end.
Number 16. Graffiti session. This is a graffiti session gone bad. YouTuber Gorilla Hot Tortilla says it almost ended in tragedy. Here's what happened. After spray painting in what they assumed to be an abandoned building, they found they were not alone. The graffiti artist sees someone in the distance, and they start to panic. That someone follows them. Although they race off into the darkness, the other pursues them. They continue on, but the other follows, and its movements are uncanny. Some in the comments think the pale-faced figure looks like Michael Myers, or the thing nightmares are made of. But others are more in tune with the way the figure moves. YouTuber Lola Bunny writes, "That thing was sliding and gliding, and it looked like he literally flew into that grove of trees. Vampire." Others agree that it's a vampire, and it does seem to fit the bill. If that's the case, prepare your garlic. Number 15. Queen Mary Ghost. Sailing primarily in the North Atlantic Ocean from 1936 to 1967, the RMS Queen Mary is a retired British ocean liner that stands as a testament to marine history and a relic of haunted lore. And here's more proof of that lore. Redditor Butthurt2K took 2 photos on the Queen Mary when they were little. According to the OP, after the first photo, the person who took it began crying after what she saw.
And when they took another photo in the haunted closet, a similar figure was captured on camera. Take a look. A little backstory on the Queen. Known for its luxurious accommodations and speedy transatlantic crossings, the Queen Mary earned the blue ribbon for the fastest Atlantic crossing in 1938. During World War II, the ship was repurposed as a troop ship and nicknamed the Grey Ghost for its stealth and speed, transporting thousands of soldiers to and from the European warfront. This moniker may have been a preview of its haunting to come. By the 1960s, air travel began to dominate, leading to the ship's retirement in 1967. The Queen Mary found a new home in Long Beach, California, where it was transformed into a museum and hotel, preserving its rich history for visitors. It was there that it became equally famous for its ghosts. Many paranormal enthusiasts consider it one of the most haunted places in the world. Numerous ghostly encounters have been reported by visitors and staff alike. One of the most famous haunted locations on the ship is the first-class swimming pool. Witnesses have reported seeing the apparitions of women in 1930s-style bathing suits walking near the pool, or hearing splashing sounds when no water is present. Another hotspot for paranormal activity is the engine room, where the ghost of an 18-year-old crew member named John Petter is said to linger. He tragically died there in a crushing accident. Visitors often recount seeing his shadowy figure or feeling an inexplicable coldness in the area. The Queen Mary's Grand Ballroom is also a site of frequent ghost sightings, including that of a lady in white who dances alone, seemingly lost in time. That's not all. Cabin B340 is known for its high concentration of supernatural occurrences, so much so that it was closed to guests for many years. Reports of flickering lights, bed covers being pulled off, and inexplicable knocking sounds have led many to believe that the cabin is home to restless spirits. Is this haunted closet in cabin B340? The OP doesn't offer up any further information. Some do believe that these photos have captured a spectral figure, but others think it's simply a double exposure or camera flaw. What do you think? Number 14. The Watcher. TikToker Gordon Gears Motor is wondering, what is this in my yard? The more they zoom in, the creepier the thing looks. Is it an animal mounted at the top of a palm tree? The face looks human, and it's jeering. Some in the comments say it's just the broken part of the palm tree, and the lighting makes it appear this way. But others are saying it's a Penampokin or Sigbin. A Penampokin is a term derived from the Indonesian and Malay word for apparition or sighting, and refers to ghostly manifestations that are deeply rooted in Southeast Asian folklore. These apparitions are often described as spectral figures that appear suddenly, inducing fear and curiosity among witnesses. Penampokin are typically characterized by their creepy, often human-like forms that materialize in unexpected places. They are commonly reported in abandoned buildings, cemeteries, and dense forests. There are different types of Penampokin, including the Genderuwo, which are described as large, hairy, humanoid spirits that inhabit trees and abandoned places. They are often seen as malevolent entities that can shapeshift and cause harm to humans, Could this be a Genderuo? The other suggestion by TikTokers, a Sigbin, is a Filipino spirit. The Sigbin is often described as a sinister, nocturnal entity, emerging at night to hunt for its prey and instilling fear in those who encounter it. Depicted as a goat-like beast, the Sigbin has several unsettling features. It is said to walk backward with its head lowered between its hind legs. It also has large ears, which it can clap together to create a loud, echoing sound, and a long, flexible tail that it uses like a whip. Some accounts describe it as having the ability to become invisible to humans, or as emitting a foul odor that can incapacitate its victims. The Sigbin's primary prey is children. It's believed to suck their blood or extract their shadows, causing illness or death. So, is this either one of these mythological creatures? Or is it just good old pareidolia? Get a bit closer and find out for yourself.
Number 13.
Bar ghost. There are one too many instances of unexplained activity in this English bar to dismiss. Redditor T Always Helps is wondering if there are ghosts in the bar they work at, or just dodgy shelves. Take a look at this first clip. A glass falls from its place on the second shelf without explanation. In another clip, it happens again, this time with bar attendants nearby witnessing it firsthand. Then, a third clip captures a signboard falling over in the back kitchen. The OP notes that the bar, restaurant, and kitchen are notoriously haunted. They write, "I don't believe in ghosts, but I'm gonna ask the Reddit world what they think." The Reddit world answers with a resounding yes. Redditor Hoku Hoku writes, "What I find interesting here is the manner in which those glasses are tipped over." Irish Exit agrees, adding, "The glasses are on mats on those shelves, which makes slipping off harder." The OP notes that they've worked there for 16 years, and a few glasses have smashed for no apparent reason, which adds to the mystery. Many are saying this is absolutely, without a doubt, poltergeist activity. In another post, the OP adds a fourth clip that another staff member submitted for further ghostly confirmation. Redditor Cousin Sarah, who is a bartender herself, suggests that this is a frequent occurrence in bars. They say it often happens when water is left on the rim of a glass, combined with any sort of vibration. While some are still clinging to poltergeist, this one is hit or miss. Science may be the answer.
Number 12. She's watching. Don't look now. She's watching. Instagrammer Robson Premiacois shares this clip of the creepiest doll in the store. Some in the comments say this is just part of the doll's gimmick. Her eyes are designed to follow you. Others are suggesting to yeet this demon into the sun. Is this doll possessed? Or is it designed to be? Even if it is staring at us by design, it definitely shouldn't exist. Number 11. Hospital Ghost. Redditor Stalker the Zone has never really been a believer until they saw this. The OP explains, I do security at a hospital. The chair was on the other side of the hallway on my first patrol, and on my second patrol, this is what I had found.
See, I no.
Many in the comments say this is true ghost stuff. Redditor Somo FDEs writes, that's pretty creepy. I thought it was strange with the small wheel facing you already like you could pull it, but it looks like the big one on the right starts to turn first. The OP says when they returned the following shift, the wheelchair was folded up against the wall. They haven't witnessed anything paranormal since. But a number of people in the comments share their own paranormal hospital experiences. One of these people is Redditor Jim Squirrel, who says they also worked the night shift at a hospital. When they first started, their coworkers shared eerie stories, which they dismissed as attempts to scare the new guy. That was until the night they chased a child's leg around a corner, only to find there was no child there. Do you have a scary hospital story? Please share it in the comments. This hospital is clearly haunted. Maybe yours is too. Number 10. Photobomb Phantom. If you want a solo pic, beware of phantom photobombers hanging over your shoulder. Redditor CN Badger says that this photo was taken in the mid-2000s on film. They write, we were only teens when this was taken at my mate's house one evening. He was playing dress-up in his dad's old army clothes. They had no statues or garden ornaments. So, what is this? You can see a ghostly figure in the background. To most, it looks like either a pregnant woman or a woman carrying a baby. Redditor Moo58 writes, it's a ghost mother carrying her ghost baby far away from that crazy teen boy. The figure is pearly white, and her bottom half seems to taper into transparency. Maybe this is a Rorschach test, because others are seeing something totally different. Some Redditors are seeing a fairy, while others are seeing an old hag, looking left with a big nose and chin. That perspective is more visible in this contrasted photo. And this last photo was taken moments before the first one, according to the OP. In it, no figure appears. Many in the comments think the figure is nothing but a garden statue, and the last photo is simply taken at a different angle than the first. Redditor D. Alec believes the figure is a statue, and also suggests that the image has been digitally altered. The OP insists that his friend had no statues or garden ornaments in their yard, but others continue to debunk this statement. They say that the software they used detected different edges at the shadow, and that the pixels appear varied on edge detection in the shadowed area of images. What do you think's going on here? Do you feel this image has been altered? Do you think this is nothing but a statue looming in the darkness? It's hard to tell, but Redditor I Am Jack Sanger said it best, writing, I don't even care about the ghost debate. I just think this is a great childhood moment to have immortalized in a picture.
Number 9.
The footage. While taking a bath, Redditor Aging Wisdom heard a noise in the kids' room that sounded like a clap. They thought something just fell over, but when reviewing the footage from their baby monitor, they found this. Notice not only does the pacifier move on its own, but there's a strange shadow that moves simultaneously under the blanket. Some in the comments are saying the shadow is creepier than the pacifier. Others are offering up an assortment of theories. Redditor Mr. Scant writes, "Here's my theory. The child sucked the pacifier until the rubber part got stuck together or inverted. It slowly reverted back to its regular shape until it reached the critical point of popping back into place. As for the shadow next to the blanket, it could perhaps be the shadow of the pacifier itself. While some agree with this theory, others refute it. Isa Kiss the Rain argues that the shadow near the blanket is an actual object that moves on its own under the blanket. They say to watch closely and you'll see the blanket rise. Even more damning, the pacifier doesn't appear to change shape, which would disprove the inverted rubber theory. Twelfth Tundra also offers up a potential explanation, saying that perhaps the elastic strap on the corner of the fitted sheet came loose, making both the pacifier and blanket move. They think the tension snap would also account for the clapping sound the OP heard. While these all seem like good theories, here's another one. Ghost Baby.
Number 8. Footsteps. While their family was on vacation, Redditor Internal Ad 9783 kept hearing footsteps. They checked the house, but couldn't find anyone. So they set up this camera, hoping to catch the culprit. And this is what it captured. There's quite obviously someone in this person's home, but it's not clear if it's a ghost or an intruder. Many in the comments are leaning towards intruder due to what is captured in the mirror to the left before the light turns on. Take a look. But then there's also something strange that moves across the lower part of the picture frames. A bizarre shadow moves past almost simultaneously with the figure in the mirror. That gives many pause, because it somehow looks like a shadow figure is present, and may be what's creating the reflection in the mirror. What do you think? Intruder? Or something far more paranormal? Number 7.
Parking lot sleep. Van life is appealing in a number of ways. It allows flexibility, adventure, minimalism, and financial freedom. It's becoming a reality for many. YouTuber Rody B is one of them. He lives in his truck. But along the way, he's learned one of the dark sides about this way of life is its lack of security. And this video is why Rody B never sleeps in parking lots.
So it was probably around like 1:30 in the morning when I heard someone walking around my truck. And whenever you're sleeping, somewhere public and you hear somebody walking right outside your truck, it's always a little bit alarming.
Imagine being in this vulnerable position, asleep, in the darkness, with nothing between you and this stranger but your car door. As Rody B watches the man out his window, the man starts taking pictures.
I'm not sure why he was doing this, so I thought maybe I wasn't allowed to park there, and he was taking pictures of my license plate. But it's kind of odd to be doing that at 1:30 in the morning, and he didn't look like a security guard or anything like that.
The stranger then returns to the front of the vehicle. It hasn't become any clearer what his motives are.
And tries to shine his flashlight into the back of my camper shell. You'll see here in a second. And I just bang on the window. But yeah, that was basically it. He took off, and
Some in the comments have theories as to what the man is doing. YouTuber Thomas Tidewater writes, he needs drug money, so he steals cars. He started taking pictures so he could send the pics to the chop shop to see if they were interested in that make, model, and year, before he took the risk of stealing it. Others suggest keeping a key fob on hand to sound the alarm at a moment's notice. Some say that parking lots can be safe to overnight in. It just depends. Suggestions range from Walmart parking lots to hospital lots to truck stops. Anything that's 24 hours and has cameras and some traffic at all hours. While it's likely the guy was scouting out the vehicle for potential theft, luckily he didn't make it that far. Who knows what could have happened if he'd broken in.
Number 6.
Living thylacine. Is this a creature long believed to be extinct? Redditor Truth is Fiction YT thinks it may be. And they're sharing photos posted by one Forrest Gallant to ask Reddit its thoughts on whether or not this is a thylacine. The thylacine is also known as the Tasmanian tiger or Tasmanian wolf. Once native to Tasmania, Australia, and New Guinea, its scientific name translates to dog-headed pouched one, which highlights its distinctive appearance. The thylacine resembled a large dog with some unique features. It had a stiff, kangaroo-like tail, and also like kangaroos, it had abdominal pouches in both sexes. The creature's fur was sandy or yellow-brown, and it had dark stripes running across its lower back and tail, giving it the tiger moniker. Adult thylacines could reach up to 71 inches in length, including the tail, and weigh around 66 pounds. And as a carnivorous predator, it had a powerful jaw and sharp teeth. It's believed to have gone extinct in the 20th century after disease, habitat destruction, and intense hunting by European settlers who blamed it for livestock losses. The last known wild thylacine was killed in 1930, and the last captive thylacine died in Hobart Zoo in 1936. Despite being declared extinct, the thylacine remains a subject of fascination and numerous unconfirmed sightings, fueling ongoing debates about its possible survival. Is this proof that the species has survived against all odds? Some in the comments say the source of the photos was sketchy and questionable during the interview by Forrest Gallant. There were apparently a lot of red flags. Furthermore, the image may be based on an artist's model. Redditor Damon Blackfire21 shares a link to this artist's posable doll. They believe someone edited photos of the artist's model to fabricate these images. That's looking more and more likely. But while this may be a hoax, that doesn't mean there isn't a surviving population of thylacine. And that thought is intriguing.
Number 5. Party ghost. Is this ghost the life or the death of the party? Redditor Warthog Unhappy 9979 is wondering why the balloon in the kitchen started dancing and making its way into their bedroom. See for yourself. For reference, the balloon is the black object hanging above the kitchen counter. It's in the shape of a bird. This video has been sped up a bit. At normal speed, it takes about 40 seconds for the balloon to move into the OP's room. After waking the OP up by bumping into them, it can later be seen again, peeking out the side of the door. While this does seem scary to some, like the balloon is on a mission, for others, there's a perfectly logical explanation. Redditor The Stolen One writes, "They ride around the house on air currents. Either that, or I unknowingly lived in a very haunted house when my kids were young. Although the OP says there was no heat or AC on, and they don't have central air, many in the comments insist that air is still moving, and air pressure and temperature changes can create air currents regardless. A few think there's a string involved, and the balloon is being pulled into the next room. But the OP argues that prior to the balloon entering their room, something woke their birds up. You can hear the birds screeching in the background. Redditors still say this is normal bird behavior and normal balloon behavior, particularly as they're deflating. Some do believe that there's ghostly involvement, but they're the minority. Are you among them? Number 4. Haunted Dolls. TikToker Lendu Hondiri has collected an assortment of haunted dolls. And from day one, they've made it clear that they're possessed.
Oh, I think that's because I leaned on the bed, though. I don't think that's supernatural, but that scared the me.
Although she says this first blip was because she leaned on the doll, a doll to the right clearly moves a moment later. Watch the one in the hat.
Scared the out of me. And then get rid of my dollies. I can't even get rid of my dollies. I like them too much.
This doll seems to be the most possessed of them all. Some of the dolls are even lowering the temperature in the room.
Freezing, dude.
Would you be able to sleep next to these things?
Justin. Justin. You good? Baby?
Their movements are subtle, but watch closely and you'll grow unnerved. The couple also captures something deeply disturbing on their home security camera.
You're hyper, please. It's scaring me.
Ready? Something's in our f***ing window.
Hold on. You're gonna hear 3 knocks. The
They explain the footage.
first one, you're the second one, and the third one. Play it. Second, third.
They called the police about this figure, but nothing was found. In the meantime, their haunted dolls keep self-animating. And there's evidence that whatever presence is here has begun to physically provoke them. Watch her hair. It's even begun to move things around in their home, like their dinner and their Ring camera. But things truly turn nightmarish when it comes to Chucky. Watch this. Many TikTokers are bewildered by this level of evidence and say it's the most believable footage they've ever seen. Even skeptics are turning into believers after watching this series. TikToker This God Jen writes, I was watching this in my room and I had to stop because I didn't want my 40-year-old Cabbage Patch to get any ideas. Aside from the lunging Chucky doll, the most unnerving bit is the figure seen inside the house. Did a shadow figure emerge from one of these possessed dolls? That's one theory. What's yours? Number 3. Fourth dimensional being. A security camera captured an invisible ship releasing amorphous illuminated beings to the Earth's surface. Instagrammer Bien Forever shares this creepy footage of the event unfolding somewhere in the US. The light being, or beings, glide to Earth and then are seen making their way off into the distance. Many in the comments are noting how the being skips along, like it's happy to be here. Instagrammer Josh the Finance Guy writes, if these are fourth dimensional beings, then they would be purely light or energy, which are the same. If a 4D being came into a 3D dimension, it would look like an orb or a bundle of light, just like this. Is this a fourth dimensional being? It may be. To expand a bit on Josh the Finance Guy's theory, a fourth dimensional being exists in a realm that transcends the three-dimensional space we are accustomed to. In our three-dimensional world, we experience length, width, and height. A fourth dimensional being, however, would perceive and interact with an additional dimension, commonly conceptualized as time or a spatial fourth dimension. Such a being would have a different perception of reality compared to humans. While we see objects as three-dimensional shapes, a fourth-dimensional being would see them in their entirety across all dimensions, potentially viewing the inside and outside simultaneously. For instance, if they looked at a book, they might see all pages at once, including their contents and how they are connected, not just the cover and the pages one at a time. A fourth dimensional being would also possess extraordinary abilities to move through space in ways incomprehensible to us. In the same way we can move forward, backward, left, right, up, and down, it could potentially move through the fourth dimension. This might allow them to appear and disappear from our perspective, as they shift in and out of our three-dimensional plane. Describing the physical form of a fourth-dimensional being is challenging, as it transcends our knowledge. However, if we were to catch a glimpse, it might appear as a constantly shifting, incomprehensible mass, as parts of their form intersect with our three-dimensional space in unpredictable ways. That sounds applicable to what we're seeing here. And if we're really looking at a fourth-dimensional being right now, then who knows what comes next?
Number 2. Hospital Ghost. As mentioned before, hospitals are notoriously haunted, and this series of videos offers even more proof. TikToker Pink86 shares this footage of a friendly hospital ghost and its antics at Phoenix Children's Hospital.
Okay, go. Who is it?
It's so weird. Do it one more time, please.
As the ghost turns the water on and off on command, it sure seems like it's doing so to entertain them.
Wait, so are we friends now? Are you Wait, so do it again if you're not.
Then, it becomes unclear whether the spirit is really a doctor after all.
Are you just messing with us? Okay.
In a second video, they keep inquiring about the spirit's identity and characteristics. It appears to respond intelligently to their queries.
Nope.
So, you're a girl? You're a girl! Are you So, she's a girl?
After a nurse interrupts the interview, the spirit seems timid.
So, double checking, you're a girl. Yes?
Oh, she got scared of the nurses.
It's okay, the nurses are gone. I promise.
They show viewers that nothing appears to be triggering the faucet.
And just for show, let's see if it comes on right here. I'm right here. Nothing.
They then discover the spirit's identifying features, her eye color.
Oh.
Wait, so your eyes are green?
And her hair color.
Hair color time.
Beeps, are you seeing this?
Are you blonde?
I think it's red hair.
You have red hair? Like my friend? You have red hair?
For some reason, the spirit is very scared of the hospital's nurses.
Are you scared of the nurses?
You don't like the nurses? I'm sorry.
It's not clear why. Maybe she was a patient here and didn't have a good experience. The patient asks if the spirit will accompany her for her tests. In a third video, after questioning again if the spirit is a doctor, they ask this.
Are you a child? Wait. Okay, are you a child? I'm sorry. I'm confused. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for saying you're a doctor. I know.
They discover the child's age.
8, 9.
You're 9? You're 9 years old?
Though the spirit isn't scared of needles, it is scared of something else.
Are you scared
they discover the young girl had dreams as well.
Do you want to be a teacher?
Well, did you want to be? Did you want... You wanted to be a teacher?
In a fourth clip, they find out even more about her identity.
Does your name start with a A? Does your name start with a B?
I wanted to do the question asked.
Okay. No?
Your name starts with a B?
After guessing the first letter, they guess the name too.
Is your name Brittany?
Is it Bianca?
That's a weird name.
I don't know. It's what
Came to mind?
Yeah.
Bianca?
Some in the comments believe this is just a faulty sensor. They say the water is going off every 5 and 15 seconds. Others believe the patient may be an empath and have the ability to communicate with spirits. As the questions continue, the woman's husband keeps hearing static on his end of the line. The room suddenly grows cold, and the spirit stops responding.
No. There's nothing. It's just a little chilly in here. My nose is freezing, look. Ow!
Was Bianca really there after all? What happened to her? Probably something you weren't prepared for.
Number 1. Glitch in the Matrix. Is this lady stuck in a Matrix glitch? TikToker Meta Cowboy believes so. That's because he's watched her repeat the following pattern.
Girl keeps repeating the same thing over and over. She's going to get out of her car. Watch her. She's done this 3 times. She's going to get out of her car. She's going to walk around the front. She's going to go get in the passenger side. All right, watch her.
He says this is the 4th time she's done this, and he's wondering if it's a glitch in the Matrix. A glitch in the Matrix is an anomaly or seemingly inexplicable event that hints at the existence of an underlying simulated reality. These occurrences can range from the mundane, like someone repeating the same pattern, to the profoundly unsettling, challenging our perceptions of what is real and what might be an illusion. One common type of glitch is time slips. People have reported experiences where time seems to skip forward or backward in ways that defy conventional understanding. Déjà vu, the feeling of having already experienced a present situation, is often cited as a subtle glitch in the Matrix. While psychological explanations attribute déjà vu to memory and cognitive processes, some suggest it may be a momentary glimpse into the structure of a simulated reality, where the same scenario is replayed. This woman's reenactment seems like it could be a time slip or déjà vu, or a combination of the two. Maybe the OP is repeatedly skipping back in time, seeing the same woman repeat the same behavioral patterns. Or maybe he's simply experiencing déjà vu. Is our world just a sophisticated simulation? Although this is the more interesting theory, most in the comments believe the answer is much more mundane. TikToker Donna Allen writes, "My daughter has OCD. She would do something like this." OCD, or obsessive compulsive disorder, is a mental health condition characterized by persistent, intrusive thoughts, or obsessions, and repetitive behaviors, or compulsions, that an individual feels driven to perform. These compulsions are often carried out in an attempt to reduce the distress caused by the obsessions, though the relief is typically temporary, creating a cycle that can become debilitating. Common obsessions include fears of contamination, harming others, or causing a disaster, as well as intrusive thoughts about symmetry or order. Common compulsions include excessive cleaning, hand washing, checking locks or appliances, counting, or repeating actions. These behaviors are performed in an attempt to prevent a feared event or to reduce anxiety, even though they are often recognized as excessive or irrational. Judging by the video and the OP's description of the woman's behavior, this does sound very much like it could be OCD. Although the OP said he spoke to the woman after her 5th repetition of this routine, he did not share the conclusion. So, like the OP, we're left to wonder, what is going on here? What are your thoughts?